In a world where strong emotions often make us feel trapped, there is an ancient wisdom that helps people break free from their emotions. As we reveal the deep secrets of Stoicism that can change your life, welcome to a journey of self-discovery and inner strength. Marcus Aurelius said that you control your mind, not what happens in the outside world. When you realize this, you will feel stronger. You will find strength in a world where feelings can be like huge waves. How do we get to our anchor point? Join us on this journey as we delve deep into 7 invaluable Stoic lessons that will help you control your emotions and weather the storms of life with unwavering strength. But before we start, I really want you to watch all the way to the end of the video because there's something special there. You should subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't already, so you don't miss any lessons. Let's all start now. In a world where strong emotions often make us feel trapped, there is an ancient wisdom that helps people break free from their emotions. As we reveal the deep secrets of Stoicism that can change your life, welcome to a journey of self-discovery and inner strength. Marcus Aurelius said that you control your mind, not what happens in the outside world. When you realize this, you will feel stronger. You will find strength in a world where feelings can be like huge waves. How do we get to our anchor point? Join us on this journey as we delve deep into 7 invaluable Stoic lessons that will help you control your emotions and weather the storms of life with unwavering strength. But before we start, I really want you to watch all the way to the end of the video because there's something special there. You should subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't already, so you don't miss any lessons. Let's all start now. This lesson, make me a better person. Of course, this doesn't mean we should look for problems or treat real ones like they're not important. Understanding that every challenge has a chance or potential inside it is what this is all about. By taking care of this seed with a positive attitude, with patience and persistence, we can use problems as stepping stones to become wiser, more whole, and grow. Lesson number 2. How questions can help you. Consider the following question for yourself. Is this going to be important in 5 years? A lot of things happen in life that test of persistence, patience, and big-picture thinking. Every day we deal with emotionally charged situations, from small ones, like spilling coffee, to bigger ones, like fights with family and friends. When we're angry, it's easy to get caught up in how quickly our feelings change. It can feel like the end of the world. When you miss a deadline, say something important, or forget an anniversary. But a strong question can help us see things more clearly and change our minds in 5 years. Will this still be important? This simple but deep question lets us go into the future and see what happened in the present. Suddenly, that heated argument or missed chance looks very different. Most of the things we worry about now will not matter much in the grand scheme of our lives. Think about the problems and stresses you had 5 years ago. How many of them are still important now? How many have been overshadowed by new memories, experiences, and things learned? Being aware of this can humble you and set you free. Using this question as a regular checkpoint helps us figure out what's most important to us. This helps us tell the difference between short-term problems and long-term effects. For example, a day at work with low productivity might feel like a lot of stress right now, but we need to remember that it's only one day in a career that lasts decades. This point of view not only helps us see how important our professional journey is in a bigger picture, but it also makes us more patient when things go wrong. The quote serves as a reminder that we can get lost in the problems and stresses of the present moment instead of being stuck on short-term issues. We should plan, change, and move forward with the time when we keep our cool and look at the bigger picture. We need to remember that time often brings clarity and answers to the problems we face. We can make people less anxious and help them solve problems better. And this isn't just an attempt to play down our worries, though. This question also makes us think about what's important. Investing in relationships, personal growth, and experiences that will last is important. If we want the choices and actions we make to mean something in the long run, We live in a world that is very focused on the present. Why is this question important? If we want to find meaning and peace in our lives, the next 5 years will show us the way we can handle the ups and downs of life with grace. By coming back to this question often, this will help us keep our energy and attention on what really matters. Mine. Lesson number 3. Know the things you can change. Have you ever been caught in a storm? Not the storms with rain and thunder, but the storms of life like those that come up out of the blue, let you down, or cause sudden changes? People who lived in ancient Greece and Rome and were called Stoics had a lesson that feels like a lifeline in these rough times. The two sides of control. Think about this. You've done everything you can to get ready for an outdoor event, but it rains no matter how much you want to. You can't change the weather now, but how you feel about the rain is completely up to you. You could be sad and angry, or you could figure out a way to deal with it. For example, you could move the event inside or enjoy the rain as a change. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus was born a slave, but became one of the most important thinkers of his time. To put it briefly, we can change some things, but not others. It seems easy, doesn't it? There is deep wisdom in this simplicity, though, that can change our lives. We deal with a wide range of situations every day. Some of them we can change. Like what we do every day, the books we read, and the people we hang out with. But we can't reach many of them. World events, what other people do, how much time has passed. Yes, the weather. This is where things get interesting. The Stoics thought that our happiness doesn't depend on what happens in the outside world, but on how we understand and react to it. Our feelings aren't caused by the event itself, but by how we think about it. Think about a time when something went wrong. You might not have gotten the job you wanted. Everything felt bad at the time, but after some time, you may have realized it was actually a blessing in disguise. That led you to a better chance for personal growth. But how are we going to make this work? Stop and ask yourself, can I do something about this? Do something. If the answer is yes. If the answer is no, it's a chance to work on being able to accept and change things. We can free ourselves from needless pain by really understanding and internalizing this principle. We can handle life with ease because we know that even though we can't change the wind, we can change our sails. The dichotomy of control is a bright light in a world that often seems out of order. It reminds us to put our energy where it counts most and to enjoy the peace that comes with knowing that some things are out of our control. Lesson number 4. Think before you act. It may seem like a thing of the past to reflect in this digital age where instant gratification is valued. So taking the time to think and pause can be our saving grace in a world where we need to act quickly. Think about how many times we have to make choices, big and small. There are a lot of options, from picking out a meal at a restaurant to picking a career path. But it's not just how big these choices are that matters. It has to do with how we talk to them. Let's look at a common situation where someone reads a message that makes them angry. Someone at work might be questioning your work, or a friend might make a casual comment. Your first thought might be to defend yourself or get angry. But what if, instead of diving right into that emotional whirlpool, you took a step back and let yourself feel detached for a moment? You're not trying to hide how you feel by letting them breathe. You show that you understand them. It's not about passively accepting things or avoiding them when you reflect. It's about being involved with our feelings and thoughts. It has to do with asking deep questions. Why did this comment make me feel so badly? What beliefs or events from the past are affecting how I feel right now? Is my first reaction based on what's happening now or on things that happened in the past? Also, giving ourselves time to think before reacting is a way to improve empathy. We also allow ourselves to see things from other people's points of view. That coworker or friend may have been having a rough day and didn't realize how important what they said was. Through reflection, we were able to understand not only ourselves but also the people we were close to. This habit can be very important. How many misunderstandings could we avoid if we stopped to think before we spoke? How many bridges could be built instead of being destroyed? Being able to stop and think is very useful in professional settings. People usually respect and follow leaders more who think about their choices before making them. People think of them as thoughtful, calm, and smart. Most of the time, their choices, which come from deep thought, last. When it seems like everything is moving too fast, taking the time to reflect is a way to stand up for yourself. A quiet but strong message that we won't let the currents of now take us away. Making this promise means that we will take care of ourselves, be happy, and treat others well. It's more than just a practice to think things through before acting on them. It is a way of life that values depth over breadth, understanding over impulsivity, and lasting connections, over briefly meeting someone. It's an inner journey that has huge effects on the outside world, changing not only how we react, but also how our lives are put together. Lesson number 5. Write in a Stoic journal. Writing in a journal has been respected in many cultures and times. It's not just a record of what happened. It's also a way to think about yourself, grow as a person, and get clear with their focus on self-knowledge and self-improvement. Stoic philosophers are no strangers to this idea. A Stoic journal is more than just a record of what happens each day. It's a place to think, talk to yourself, and look at your feelings, choices, and responses. It's where the outside world and the inside world meet, and it's where personal values and beliefs shape how we think about events. Imagine ending each day by writing down not only what happened, but also how you felt about it and what made you happy or sad during the day. Why did a certain comment someone made bother you, or a small thing you did make someone happy? When you think back on that day, you may remember a lot of different things that happened, from small things like seeing an old friend for a short time to big changes in your life, like reaching a big goal or facing a tough situation. Each of these events had a different effect on you and made you feel different things at times during the day. You may feel like everything is going well and enjoy the little things you do every day. It could be when you finish a long-awaited task or when someone tells you how great you are at what you do. These kinds of events often make people feel proud and happy. But there are times during the day when things go wrong or things don't go as planned, which can make you feel bored or even stressed. A fight with another person, a mistake at work, or even a rude comment from someone else could be the cause. These kinds of situations can make people feel bad and uncomfortable. When we look at the little things that happen in our day and how we react to them, we can start to see the patterns in our minds. This can help us figure out our strengths and weaknesses, which gives us the chance to grow and make our daily lives better. We start to notice the things that affect our mood, help us make decisions, and mold our daily habits. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in a book that is now called Meditations. It wasn't meant to be published. It was an intimate conversation and a place for him to teach himself and remind himself of Stoic principles that will help him deal with the difficulties of life. We can see a man struggling with his emotions, response, skills, and place in the world through his writings. To get something out of a Stoic journal, you don't have to be an emperor. With all the chaos and information coming at us all the time these days, it's becoming more and more important to take time to think about ourselves in the midst of chaos. Daily reflection and a guiding ritual help bring clarity. This practice can help you reach deep insights over time. You might realize that some things always make you feel stressed, which forces you to deal with them or change how you see them. Some practices, like being grateful or mindful, may help your mood and way of thinking patterns that start to appear can help you grow as a person. A Stoic journal not only gives you insights, but it also makes you more accountable by making you look at yourself every day. We are responsible for how we act and what we choose to do. It gets harder to ignore mistakes that are made over and over or play down mistakes in judgment. We are forced to learn, change, and grow instead. To sum up, keeping a Stoic journal is like having a wise friend, not critical, always willing to hear, think about, and follow. It's a promise to work on yourself. Learn more about yourself and live a life that is in line with your values and principles. Lesson number 6. Practice non-attachment. In a world that changes all the time, like an emotional roller coaster. At first glance, the idea of practicing non-attachment may not seem right, but let's look into what it really means and how it can change your life to practice non-attachment. We don't have to hide our feelings or stop caring about the things going on around us. It's about keeping a balanced view, a calm in the middle of a storm. Just imagine being able to see and feel everything that happens without getting too overwhelmed by it all. In other words, you can go through life with a clearer mind and less stress, not letting any changes control you. When was the last time you watched a thrilling movie? There were times in that movie when the tension made your heart beat fast. There were thrilling times when you were excited about how the story was going. There were also sad times when you felt what the character was feeling because of their loss or a tough situation. If you could just notice these feelings without letting them take over, though, you'd be able to see more clearly how each one shapes your experience. You can think about why you felt that way at that time and how that affects what you think and do. It's possible that this skill will help you better control your feelings and make smarter choices in your daily life. You can learn to enjoy exciting times without getting too excited about them, and you can also get better at dealing with tough feelings, even though you're interested in the story. You know, it's only a movie. You don't rush to help the main character or comfort characters who are crying. You pay attention and feel, but you don't move. At its core, this is what it means to practice non-attachment. Going through all of life's feelings and knowing when to stay in the seat of your soul are both important. Being aware without getting caught up in the story. Today, when we are constantly being flooded with information and alerts, this method becomes a lifeline. Strong reactions to everything we hear can wear us down all the time. Non-attachment adds a physical layer and way to interact with the world in a more balanced and sustainable way. Non-attachment is also very important in relationships with other people. We've all been in situations where conversations get tense and fight. Start practicing. Non-attachment can make the difference between a good conversation and a bad argument. It helps us listen better, respond instead of react, and handle disagreements with compassion and understanding. Self-awareness and regularly checking in with ourselves are the first steps to nurturing non-attachment. Seeing the effects on our emotions and knowing our patterns in that space. This leaves a gap between the stimulus and the response. We are free to choose how to respond, choosing to act on purpose instead of instinct. Non-attachment may sound like stepping away from life's pleasures and joys, but it actually makes them better because you don't get too caught up in the outcome. No longer having to worry about loss or change, we can fully enjoy the journey and savor every moment. Finding balance in a world that is always changing is what non-attachment is all about. It's like a compass that points to inner peace and gently guides us through life's many landscapes. By doing this, we not only make our own lives better, but we also make the lives of those around us more peaceful. Lesson number 7. Learn to be thankful. Among all the feelings people have, gratitude stands out like a golden thread linking times of happiness, contentment, and a bigger picture of our lives. Stoic philosophers believed that even though gratitude comes naturally, it should be actively practiced. They suggested making it a daily habit to stay in the present and appreciate the good things in life. Being thankful is more than just saying thank you. It's a deep appreciation of all the many things, people, and events that make our lives better. Realizing the beauty in the everyday, in lessons, in challenges, and in the fact that each experience is short-lived makes it more valuable and important. Stoic philosopher named Seneca once said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without worrying about the future." This sums up what gratitude is all about. It is very much in the present, enjoying every moment, experience, and conversation. Picture yourself sitting outside on a sunny morning. It's warm and the sun is coming up. Rays wrap around you. Today is a cold morning, and the sun's warmth feels like a gift. You stop for a moment instead of just sitting there and going on with your day. You put your hand on your chest and say, Thank you for the moment. The sun's warmth on a cold day. This makes you more aware of and grateful for your place in the world. That shows how you can show gratitude by noticing and enjoying the little things in life. By taking a moment to notice and enjoy these moments, you make life more beautiful and feel more thankful for the good things that are happening in it. We make that beauty and meaning bigger in our lives. Another benefit of practicing gratitude is that it keeps you from focusing on what's missing, like unmet needs or unknown futures, by not focusing on what we don't have, but on what we do have. We make people happier, less envious or angry, and better off overall. You might be wondering how to put this into practice. It can be as easy as writing down 3 things you are thankful for every morning or every night. Over time, it can change the way you see things, making you more open to life's blessings and stronger when things go wrong. Expressing gratitude for acts of kindness, support, or love received from others also makes relationships stronger. In a world where getting more of everything from things to wants is becoming more and more important, we strengthen relationships, encourage mutual respect, and make a positive loop of love and goodwill. Being thankful is a great way to remember how good our lives are. In this message, we are asked to enjoy the present moment, accept life completely, and walk through life with a heart full of thanks. Every night, as the sun goes down behind the eastern horizon, we leave behind the echoes of old wisdom in a world full of problems today. The lessons we can learn from Stoic philosophy are very helpful as we plan for the future. Conclusion. We can use them to make the future meaningful and happy. We can't wait to hear your ideas and stories about how you use these lessons in your everyday life. Please write your ideas and thoughts in the space below on this journey to find ourselves we can share and learn from each other. Our last thought is to thank you very much for coming to join us. We hope that this video has taught you something useful and made you want to keep learning on your journey. Don't stop learning new things. Keep your feet on the ground and your curiosity alive.